And I believe we are live. Hello everyone. How are people doing? Welcome to our Friday show. Welcome. It was a little toasty in here, so I had my window open, but I will close it. Hello, lovely people. My name is Brandon Miko. Welcome to our Friday Policy Angles live show. How are y'all doing? Happy Friday. Hope you're stepping into your weekend in a wonderful way. I'm excited for it to be the weekend. Get a few days to play catch up. For you see, my week's not been the best. Mostly just because I got sick. And who likes being sick? No one. No one likes being sick. So I started feeling it a little bit Sunday evening. And really, I wasn't quite sure if it was just like sniffles, if it was my body fighting something small, but by Monday, in even like the middle of the night, I felt the fever. I felt my body going through it. And you know, we're here, we're doing better. Started feeling better Wednesday. We'll say that today's show, we have a few fun segments planned. We're going to do a week recap, which I guess we're already in the middle of. We're going to do a policy half hour looking at different things that happened this week at the Colorado State Legislature. We're going to take a dive into some things to come. We're going to do a fun twist on it. I have planned, and then we're going to look at some of the behind the scenes stuff I do. And so, happy y'all here. Really quick, I'm going to do a volume status check. Let's just make sure our settings are still good from earlier. Good mix. So we'll pop open the live stream. And there we are. And the music's pretty good level. I think overall we're doing well. Let's try a song that's a little bit more, a little louder. Dun, dun. All right. I think we'll turn it down just a smidge. We'll go boop, boop, boop. And boop, 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 boop. Audio mixing on the fly. All right. Cool, and then we got live chat open. Cool. All right, so we are going to jump into it. The biggest part of the week recap is playing catch up from being sick. I got a pretty good flow going last week with video editing, where would work on some of the longer videos in the evening. In the morning / afternoon, I would create YouTube shorts and reels, get that out, respond to some emails, get some things moving. And then Monday felt really sick. I'm happy I had some videos close to completion that was still able to get done this week, but playing catch up is the fact that we gotta like balance sick time and work still sometimes I feel like is a tragedy in itself. And maybe some people have better luck with where they work and what they're able to still do, but I mean, I'm feeling better now, which is the positive, and excited to get more done this weekend. Take some time for myself, yes. Rest, yes. And let's just like not get sick for another year. How's that feel, body? I think that sounds pretty good. Drinking that vitamin C. If you also despise being sick, throw a like in this video, throw a heart, throw a comment. All love and positive energy people send is appreciated. I'm sending that healing energy into the world as well. And let's jump into our show for today. So we're gonna do a policy half hour. My goal for today isn't to go on too long. I didn't have a lot of time to review things throughout the week like I had wanted to with that regenerative policy plan and taking dedicated time to read different bills and see what different orgs are putting out. So we're gonna do some of that live. Let me pull up the second screen and let's navigate towards the Colorado legislature. Let me actually make sure I'm in the right tab. Colorado legislature, General Assembly, and then I can push this button over here and we can get our co-viewing going. I brought in a little bit of our little where is it, this way? Our little overlay bar, including a question of the week. Just a way to keep some interaction going. Feel free to throw in the chat what is a policy change you would like to see happen in Colorado. Starting off broad and week by week we can work on a question that applies to policy change. And today, my goal with our policy half hour is to scan through some bills, scan through some committees, and then we're going to create an Excel spreadsheet with some of the nearly top 10 interesting bills. And then I'm going to use a random number generator that goes 1 through 10 to pick the bill we will do a deeper dive into. I've been trying to toy around with, as people send policies that they're working on, and we see a broad range of topics, how do we not give preference? And so there will be times that maybe something is a hot topic and needs to be discussed further. But sometimes we can leave up to chance what we discuss. And so let's open, I will keep this on the second screen for now, and then I will bring it over. Let's go to my drive in a new Google Sheet, and then we'll go February 2nd policy research list. And so policy unique number, that is perfect there. And then we can bring over, I thought I just named you, February 2nd policy list. Which is a good reminder that welcome to February. We're in our second month of the new year already. Oh, how time flies. February is also Black History Month. I think it's good that we shine extra light on topics. I don't necessarily think we should be learning about some of these topics only in certain months. Nor am I claiming that that is how you run your life, but just to say that we'll look at stuff for later this month on what we can do to highlight Black leaders and history. We had our Martin Luther King video, but we can work to also do more. Always can do more. Except, I guess, if you're out of capacity. Anywho, let us do some research. Let's just start off clicking bills. And let me make sure this is not in my blocking chat or any of the other settings I kind of need to see while live streaming. I think we're good. And awesome, looks good. All right. Let's look at these most accessed bills. Just from the top, add these most accessed bills to our list. And this first one is a racial equity study concerning an evaluation of racial equity for Black Coloradans. This requires, I am mixing words together. The bill requires the State Historical Society, commonly known as a History Colorado, to conduct a study to determine any historical and ongoing effects of slavery and subsequent systems of racism on Black Coloradans that may be attributed to Colorado state policies, and to identify measures that are consistent with the Constitution to address those effects. The Society may enter into an agreement with a third-party entity to conduct all or parts of the study. As part of the study, conduct at least 2 public comment sessions for members of the public to provide input to the Society related to the study, and require to submit a report to the General Assembly and Governor and make the report available on a publicly accessible webpage for the Society's website. This one seems straightforward. It is a research-based bill that is laying out some of the groundwork of what this report needs to do. It needs to go to Finance Committee so that there's money to pay the researchers, and then it also needs to go to the State Veterans and Military Affairs Committee. I do not think that this one will be stopped or have that many hurdles or road bumps. I'd be surprised if I wouldn't be surprised if Republicans speak out against this in some way, but I think it'll be pretty smooth sailing. But we will still add it to our list to be looked at further. I accidentally turned my keyboard off. Perfect. And then let's grab this. And so what I'm doing is filling in a spreadsheet with the name, the unique number, and the link. And so once we have a list of about 10, we will throw into a random number generator to look at some of these bills deeper. Move that back. Let's look at identical table refund. Concerning the creation of identical refund payment of excess state revenues from all sources as a mechanism to refund a portion of the excess state revenues for this state for the 2020-23 state fiscal year. What? Changes the refund mechanism that exceed the state fiscal year spending limit. Okay, we do not need to jump into this one too much. Oh, this is a bill from last year though, so we don't need to add this one. It's interesting that groups are looking at this. I guess it's tax season. That's the only idea I can think of, and so people are looking at this. It was signed into law. Okay, well, we don't need to put it on that list because that's an old law. Accessory dwelling units. Dun, dun. Concerning increasing the number of accessory dwelling units. Reason for requiring accessory dwelling unit substantive jurisdiction. Cool. And this is introduced, but not yet have a date. It doesn't seem like it, or it'd be here. Okay, so we got two policies. What else? Let's search. Let's find an agriculture bill. Let's find an education and school finance. And let's find a state government. I was kind of pointing at state government and natural resources and environment. All right. And then we're just gonna scroll there. This one was the top. Pet animal facility requirements before euthanasia. That is heavy. I don't know. Maybe it's not that heavy. So that another animal shelter or pet animal may take possession of the animal if it wants the pet animal. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Okay. I actually kind of like that. Add it to our list. How I read this just from first glance is, besides these exceptions of being dangerous or being in suffering, or there's other reasons that a shelter has to check in with other shelters before putting pets down. All right, on to the next. Let's see. Let's do adult education, and let's do student seclusion. Adding it to the list. Local district college board of trustees. All right, we're gonna go here. Let's copy this one. Throw this into our sheet. I know you might not know the history of this, but there in the last year came out reports on some Denver schools, I believe, as a form of discipline, locking kids in like rooms by themselves and then like walking out of there and just like leaving them locked in for like half an hour to hours at a time. And then like the room would be like torn up. And I mean, it's just like a terrible practice. How is the thinking, rather than give them help, rather than talking to them, is that it's just like a jail strategy that even is just like proven not to be good for people's mental or physical health. So we'll add that one to our list to look at further. So we're now in the state government. We're going to look at this one because that one just seems odd. Is it? Okay. And there's what? Doesn't even have text. Okay, it does have text. It just doesn't have a summary. I wonder if it's because it was introduced today. We will still add it to our list because we can read the bill itself, come up with their own summary if that gets chosen. Out-of-state snowmobile permit and search rescue fee. I am not that interested. Won't lie. Clarifying environmental. It's a bug one. It's a bill about bugs. Last action. Senate committee amended to appropriations. Introduced in Senate, assigned to transportation. Air quality, ozone levels. Let's put that on the list. These are bugs. And then here, one prime sponsor. Considering measures to address ozone levels in areas that do not meet federal ozone national ambient. That one's important. So we've got 6, 7, 8 bills. And then really quickly, let's look at what my personal legislators are up to. So on one of our last shows and on a video that is coming out and you can find on our channel tonight is a video that showcases how you can get more involved with the political process. And in there, I show how you can look up your representatives for here in Colorado. I happen to know mine, and it happens to be Bob Marshall. Who will open in a tab. We can close some of these tabs. And then we have Kevin Van Winkle, who is the gentleman that I ran against for office when I ran for office in 22. And so let's see what these two are working on. Let us see. So these are the committees. Sponsored bills and resolutions concerning limit fenced perimeter security alarm system regulations. Okay. Streamline marijuana regulation. Let's look at that one. Update local government sales and use tax. Local lodging tax reporting on sales return. Hold harmless for error. That local taxing jurisdictions hold harmless vendors that rely on erroneous data in certain electronic. That one. Sales and use tax demanded by the Department of Revenue. Okay, so we're gonna pull out one of those bills from Kevin, and let's look at a bill that Bob made the Democratic Party angry because he sued them for not following a certain law, and that may be the reason he's only on one committee. Let's see if is Elizabeth Epps was also on that. Let's see if she's on multiple committees. She's on 2. Okay. Repeal divest from companies. Oh. Color me interested. Okay. And let's see what bills Bob is working on. County Commissioner elections. I know a little bit about this one. He worked on it last year, and rather than giving up on a bill, reworked it and is bringing it back again this year. Authority of Attorney General to operate District Attorney's Office. Vacancy. Okay. Purple Star Program, concerning creating a program to recognize public schools that provide certain services to military-connected families. Okay. Issuance of treasurer deeds concerning property subject to property tax lien in connection with. Insurance treasurer deeds for property subject to property tax lien to lien with the federal Supreme. I don't understand land off the top of my head. Tax policy analysis by the legislative branch. Concerning analysis of tax policy, minister with modifying requirements for evaluating state tax expenditures. Federal tax law and changes. That's kind of like a good housekeeping one. Senior housing income tax credit. Concerning the reinstatement of an income tax credit to help income qualified seniors afford housing. That's a great bill. So we'll add that one to our list. I feel. And we'll add this county commissioner elections one to our list. I kind of like this purple star one too. Color me intrigued, Bob Marshall. We'll put this one on our list. Senior housing income tax credit. An income tax credit to help income qualified seniors. It was introduced, but not. Alright, nothing next yet. County Commissioner elections. And then Purple Star Program. All right, and then, for instance, school district, so schools. So it just helps distinguish certain schools. Okay. And then this one, let's better understand that. Current law allows the transfer of amateur plants seized during between medical and retail cultivation fees, including people approved by the wool. Bill allows transfer of firm or to medical. Okay, well, maybe that one will come up. And then perfect. And introduced, but no next steps yet. Why is this going to finance? Anywho. All right. We have our list. We have 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13 different policies that we will potentially look at further. We're going to bring up a random number generator that goes 1 to 13. So there are some bills there that seem more interesting to me, but to give some sense of, let's not pick favorites. Let's let the universe decide which bills we look at further. And so let's generate a number. 4. What was number 4? Adult education. All right. That will be one of the ones we look at. And let's do one more. Let's look at 2 bills together. Generate. In 1. Racial equity study, which I kind of already went over, but we will add that to the list. All right. So when people reach out to me with bills that they want to speak on, I will use a system like this at times to pick bills to speak on further. Let's jump into the first one, as I think we've already talked about it a little bit at the forefront. So this bill requires the State Historical Society, commonly known as History Colorado, to conduct a study to determine any historical or ongoing effects of slavery and subsequent systemic racism on Black Coloradans that may be attributed to Colorado state policies, and to identify measures that are consistent with the Constitution to address those effects. The Society may enter into agreement with a third-party entity to conduct all or parts of the study. As part of the study, the Society shall conduct at least 2 public comment sessions for members of the public to provide input to the Society related to the study. Input to the Society related to the study. The Society is required to submit a report to the General Assembly and Governor and make the report available on a public accessible webpage of the Society's website. I love that aspect. Get the information, put it out there. The bill establishes the Black Coloradan Racial Equity Steering Committee to provide input to the Society about the study, including guidance about the research, economic analysis, and recommendations. The steering committee also assists the Society in conducting the public comment sessions. The Society shall provide the steering committee with a regular periodic updates about the status of the study. Steering committee may submit the Society comments and recommendations for inclusion of the Society's reports to General Assembly and Governor after it's completed. is work necessary to effectuate implementation of the recommendations in the study. This bill is contingent upon the society giving $100,000 of gifts, grants, or donations for the purpose of conducting the survey. So really quick, pause the music. We had a song on loop. I can always add music in later, and let's just jump into. I don't think they put that in there unless this is the group was all like it's already on the table and discussed as this is something they're gonna do. This is an interesting bit as it's like a creative way of writing a policy, and a lot of times when things go to the finance committee here in Colorado, we only have so much budget, and whenever we change the equation that makes up how much taxes Colorado can raise in a given year, it has to go to the taxpayers to be voted on. And so this is interesting as it is a creative way of still passing a bill and change, but including outside funding to help get it done. It was introduced as under consideration. It has not gone to committee yet, or it went to as amended to the Committee of Finance. So it did go to committee yesterday. Let's take a look. So some people didn't want to support a study, and I don't know who. I know Baisley is a Republican. Let's look at Liston, Colorado, a representative. Let's see what district they live in. He's an older gentleman. And he comes Republican from El Paso. And okay. So him and Mark Baisley, the Republicans, voted no on a study that would research some of the implications still happening because of slavery and racism here in the United States. Happy that this still passed, and that this is not only is this a bill about just researching a topic and getting public sentiment, but it has built in that it needs outside funding to move forward, and they still did not want to back it. That is unfortunate. Research bills are personally some of the bills that I like most, because it brings in experts to look at a subject and come back with research and conclusions so that the next steps can be taken. This will now move on to the next steps, which is Finance Committee on Thursday the 8th. So about next week on Thursday, before moving forward in the process. If this is a bill that you want to speak out in favor of or thank some of the people working on it, the names of the 3 people are here to the right. And then if you click on upcoming schedule, you'll see the specific day. And then if you go to committees and you go to Senate Finance, you will get the list of the people on the Finance Committee that you can email to say that you support this bill. And especially if you live in one of these people's districts, or something that you would love to see the study of, can reach out to these people. So that is our first policy review and update for that one. And I love how our random number generator for February Black History Month, one of the two bills it picked was a racial equity study. I mean, that's gotta share and show that the universe cares about these topics, right? I mean, following up with that, the other bill the universe picked was this adult education bill. I don't know what's in this. This is one I only briefly scanned. So let us look at it. Adult education could be two things. It could be adults just... Oh, this is a bill from last year, no? Oh, it's last year. It has a history that a bill with a similar name was brought up last year, but it's also been brought up this year. So let's see what this bill has in it and how far it went last year. So last year, it got introduced. What does engrossed mean? Committees. It got an amendment, and then it got passed. House appropriations, which is like the finance, like getting a certain amount of money. Then it goes to House education, and then it passed. And then it went to Senate appropriation, and then it passed. And then it went to Senate education, and then it passed. So why did it... And then votes. All in favor, all in favor. So it did. So this... Oh, this is just a different adult education bill. Got it. Okay, concerning modifications to enhance adult education here in Colorado. Let's look at what is brought up this year. Current law permits a community college or local district college to develop and implement minimum graduation requirements, respectively, for a high school diploma. The bill gives that authority to the State Board of Community Colleges and Occupational Education and a local district college board of trustees. The bill authorizes the Department of Education to roll forward unexpended and unencumbered money appropriated to the department from the general fund for the 23-24, 24-25 state fiscal years for the adult education and literacy grant program. The money is available to the department for the program through 28-29 state fiscal year, at which time it reverts to the general fund. Is that it? Money's available. Any expanded? Okay. I thought this was going to be a little bit different of a bill, but this just seems to be the allowance of rolling forward money to future years, and in the future 28-29, the money goes back to the general fund unless another bill like this is passed. The bill gives authority to the state body of community colleges and education and local district. Bill gives that authority to the State Board of Community College and I guess this first part, as I understand it, respectively for permits a community college or discretion to develop and implement minimum graduate requirements. So it's giving colleges the ability to give out high school diplomas, And it gives that authority to the State Board of Community Colleges and Occupational Education and a local district college board of trustees. Okay. So this is for people who don't have a high school diploma that go to get theirs through a college. Either they're older in life and never got one. I think that's typically the case. I know that some high schoolers can graduate early, but I think that's typically through a different program and wouldn't be through a local college. And this helps just roll forward unused funds to support adult education and literacy grant programs. That's simple enough. I'm down. I think education is impactful at all points in life. These people were just thinking about making sure some programs that they already worked on continue to improve, and all for that. Do we want to do one more from our random number generator? We've gotten 1, we've gotten 4, we have 11 other bills we can look at. I could take a point of personal curiosity to look at a bill rather than the random number generator. I kind of like that. Maybe we do like a 2-to-1 balance. I would normally, as we get the show going, love to do polls and see what you all want to talk to. But without having that built in yet and still working on getting an audience going, I will pick a bill from this list to look at. And the one I am most interested in is this one. It's possibly one of the most controversial. Oh, air quality ozone levels. That could be a big one too. Just curious what the number gods would say. We already did 4. We already did 1. 6. Okay, air quality, ozone levels, or repeal, divest from companies. Let's see where these are both in the process. Are they coming up in the next week and should be talked about? Or are they yet to be scheduled? So, let's take a gander. All right. That's a rather long bill. Introduced, but no dates yet. Okay. I don't think this other one had dates yet either. Appeal, divest from companies. It is just introduced. Bill history. Assigned to finance, but no date yet. Okay. Okay. We will talk about this one. For those that don't know, I have a series called Peace Talks where work to move forward solutions on peace and do deeper dives into history and solutions. And one of the things I've learned through that series is that here in Colorado, in some states and places, there are actually laws that prevent you from divesting from Israel on certain disagreements of their policies and the ways they are handling the situation, which is like seems very un-American that we are taking away choice from companies, from funds, who want to use their dollar in a way to push forward change. And so we will look at this bill. It says, in 2016, the General Assembly enacted HB 16, which is the year, 1284, which requires the Public Employees Retirement Association, PARA, to periodically identify all companies that have economic prohibitions against Israel and to divest all direct holdings of those companies from its assets, and prohibits PARA from acquiring new direct holdings in any of those companies. The bill repeals the statutory provisions enacted in that bill. And so, this PARA, this government entity, there was a law that, was put into place to fight this way that companies can have a say by creating a negative incentive, a negative issue where this huge fund of public money, PARA, I cannot hold money in companies that do this divestment. And so I guess this becomes a question of, and potentially a bill that many people speak on, should we be legislating our retirement fund, our public funds, to be pro-Israel and anti, I guess it's just an anti allowing companies to be able to use their own dollar in a way that they feel comfortable doing. I think companies should have this choice, and that there's already so many public and perception and media reasons that groups don't already speak out on this. And to then add on to that we are saying that as a legislative body, or as these funds, these public funds, should be on top of that. I don't think it's very American. It's not very in alignment with freedom of choice. But feel free to let me know your thoughts on having laws like these on the books that say that public entities, who they should or should not be working with. Okay. We will tune back in with these 3 bills that we looked at a later date. We will keep some of these up here. We will re-update this in our next list. There's some other fun ways we could potentially look at bills. But we're going to move on to our next section. We're going to play another song. What's a fun party song for this next segment? How about this one? All right. Hold for a sec, beautiful people. Perfect. I definitely thought that adult education bill was gonna be on like sex ed and not literacy programs. I thought it was gonna be something along those lines. And I'm happy it was something more straightforward. Alright, we're gonna pull up one of our friends, one of our colleagues, and okay. Here with a community-driven channel, with our Policy Angles show, we're moving to create a future where making this content can bring back abundance that allows us to grow, to put on more events, put on and produce more different types of media, and show up in the community and support others doing awesome work. In our pursuit of that, part of our structure is to bring in sponsors and highlight different companies and orgs out there doing good. We don't currently have a huge audience and have not really worked to bring in sponsors yet. We're still in that like building area that we're creating our audience. We're showcasing to people what we're about with our content. And so this is me manifesting this type of sponsorship and reciprocation. But for now, we're doing this. This is not an actual paid ad or sponsor. We're just highlighting an awesome org as a way to showcase what one of these segments might be like. And so today, the group I want to highlight is Women in Sustainability. So for those that do not know, Women in Sustainability is a group that helps spread education and put on events around female and an inclusive network of leaders in the sustainability space. Having that community of people is huge when you're working to solve even larger problems out there in the world. And through my work and being out in the community work on environmental things, have met some of the amazing ladies of Women in Sustainability. And they put on really cool events. They put on book clubs, they put on panels, they help highlight other women leaders doing great work. And so just to highlight some of what they're up to, one of their biggest and fun fundraisers of the year is a thrift prom coming up on March 9th, where can get dressed up with a thrifted, with maybe an outfit that's been sitting in the closet for a while, put it on, go out, and in doing so, also help support an awesome organization. Limited tickets available. We're in February now, so there's no more early bird discount. But if that sounds like fun to you, getting dressed up, dancing to music, check out their thrift prom event. Leading up to that event is a formal wear and record swap. So if you have records, if you have some formal wear that you haven't worn in a while, maybe doesn't fit, this event, co-hosted with the Clothing Cycle, will be a chance where you can bring in some clothes, swap them out with others that are bringing in their clothes, and try on some new outfits that you can then bring to that thrift prom. Get dressy. I am a huge fan of a big and fun party. One of my favorite activities is a dance. Have a good time with friends and people who have shared values. And so these are just some of the events. They put on social hours, panels, and you can see that even in February, they have a whole host of events in March, and just a really cool social media page and group to potentially get involved with more. You can become a member to get discounts to some of their member-only events or invites to those member-only events. They put on a really cool fashion show at the end of last year, also along with the clothing cycle, and a really cool place to check out. So this was our not actually sponsored segment. To take a look if you're interested. Cool beans. What else? All right, we're on our last segment of the live show. We're gonna do some behind the scenes look at processes I use. So let's pause the music. Let's go for a second to full screen, and I'm also gonna sit down, and it's toasty in here, so I'm gonna take this hoodie off. All right, so we'll bring you down. I hope that hasn't been that loud. It was pretty low. Okay. If I sit here, oh, it's still too high. Let's go like that. Perfect. All right. Okay, so behind the scenes. One of the things I'm working on is having some content that people who are interested in supporting can get a deeper look into what goes into building the show, building our outreach, and building a business. That wraps up to mean that sometimes I have to put together that behind the scenes content. And this one, I plan to, jump into it, create some stuff around how we create stuff, and give you all an opportunity to ask questions or be a part of the process. How this will work then is have a few different parts that I just want to go around and share, starting with some of the behind the scenes aspects of our YouTube channel. So we can bring up our dashboard, but the thing let's actually make sure I have everything up. Perfect. So this is the page when I produce a video together. I have to give it a name, give it a description, create a thumbnail, and then when I'm ready for it to go live, I move it from private to public. I typically then create a short, which is a video that's 60 seconds or less, which helps us bring in attention to the channel and highlight what we're about. So let's get into finishing up this video. So this is about 12-minute video that talks about how everyday people can get involved. And so what I typically do is I look to some of my other videos for inspiration, especially when they're from a similar series. And we bring it in there. So come learn about this video about how you can get you can make an impact in the legislating process, in passing bills, influencing politicians, getting involved, and more. Yep. All this parts still apply. These are kind of like sister videos to the video I posted earlier this week. And then we need new timestamps so that people can get a sense. And what I typically do, impacting the state legislature, perfect, is I edit in Premiere Pro. So I use a software that helps me edit my videos. It helps me bring things together, give them titles, outros, normalize volume. And what I will often do to help speed up the process is I do text-based editing. So you can read much quicker than you can watch. And so we can scan through this. Legislators are, and so at 35 seconds in, I talk about finding your legislator. So that could be a thing to highlight. But I think 1 minute and 42 seconds. So we're gonna do introduction. We're gonna do introduction and finding legislator. We're gonna do at 140? 142 is giving written or spoken testimony, or writing or speaking on a bill. And then that's all talking about that. Talking about lobby days. At 3:58. Something they will pass. And this is kind of just additional info. Okay. 3:58 is working with others, and then there's the whole political process, and then after a while, helping lead those apart. Now sometimes there's super thought and give you back the concerns. Let me move down while helping the leaders in conversation. You try to get some time on the House floor and do your best to share with them why it's important. And then 423. 423 will be talking with legislators and talking with legislators and wrap up. Cool. This one's kind of already a condensed video. Some of my longer videos that are around 30 minutes, it's more important to me to have distinct sections. And now we will make a thumbnail. So let's go here. I just want to make sure I pull up the right doc. Project thumbnails. Here we go. And then this is a pretty good one. We go into Premiere. We will find a clip. Maybe this map of Colorado. I kind of like the image of the Colorado State. House. But then let's get me speaking. This is a kind of fun pose. So we'll export frame. We'll take that. We will bring that image into Canva. Hold on one sec so I don't do Okay, how about that one? I want to zoom in. I want it to just be this. Perfect. And then we go how you can get involved with policy. I like to, on these thumbnails, make the title like slightly different than the official title because sometimes the thumbnails is what grabs people's attention. So it gives you a bit of play. And let's do a blue, pink, let's go red or green. How you can get involved with policy, perfect. And then we'll save that thumbnail, download just this page, perfect. And so we'll bring this as a thumbnail for our YouTube channel. And downloads, thumbnail, boom. Cool. How you can get involved with policy, impacting law. Let's make this a little bit more like catchy. How you can help pass laws in Colorado. And we'll put a line, and we'll put hashtag Colorado, and we'll put, which I do have here already, we'll put how you can help pass laws in Colorado. A quick overview. Colorado politics, policy design, Colorado, local politics, lawmaking, WAD, hashtag grassroots organizing. Is that not that's not a hashtag? We're just gonna do hashtag grassroots, and we're gonna do hashtag political organizing. Political organization, hashtag activism. Perfect. And that is what goes into making a video. We'll push public, push done, and push save. We're doing a little and then I would typically go back into Premiere. I would go and work to create a short, which is a video that will include captions, potentially some other images, and helps highlight that longer video. I think it's just the nature of the game that people's attention spans, you need to hook them in before they give you that longer amount of attention. Sometimes this part I don't want to do right away because it feels like derivative, or like you're cutting. It's like you created this piece of art or education, and then you have to like tear it apart and then put it back together, which sometimes you're like, no, the 3-minute video is like really cool. I don't want to try to cut that 3 minutes into less than 60 seconds. But for love of the game, trying to have a positive impact, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. And then taking the videos, at least the shorts, and putting them on TikTok, on Instagram. Potentially might put them on Twitter, but it's really getting crazy over there. The like lack of moderation and like the types of opinions people feel chill like in the things they like saying. So I don't know if I actually ever want to touch Twitter and X that much, but could be a place to play around with. And then actually wanting to do more with Facebook and LinkedIn. Facebook doesn't like when I post YouTube clips and websites that push people out of Facebook. And so I'm realizing that I have to start like tagging people and trying other things to get attention from the Facebook algorithm. One solution there might be just putting my videos straight onto Facebook, and then it's like, ooh, nice, thanks for posting. And then LinkedIn is actually, I actually really like some of the natural organic ways that posts that can get traction. And so exploring LinkedIn more as a place. Any other last bits? What do I think? Behind the scenes, showing my video process. I typically take these live streams, I plan them in mind with segments, and then I go in an evening, I look at a segment, I look to see if there's pauses, look to see if it can be condensed further, make the video, and then make the shorts. It's pretty time intensive, to be honest. You want to make sure that if you bring up a detail but don't bring up a link in real time, like for example, in this clip I am talking about where our government money goes to. And in the original video, I didn't bring up like the pie chart in real time. So I go through and I look at it with the means and interest in, can I bring in other visuals, links, and context? Can I add music to bring in attention? And so there's a bit of an art to it. Yeah. I think next steps there, I'm looking at how can we find easy ways for people to support us. And so one of the things I'm working on this week is a Twitch channel. So Twitch, if you don't know, is and I'm not actively sharing anything, so we'll go like this. We can sit up a little bit. My back does hurt. Ooh. This week, because I've been sick all week, I haven't been exercising, and I normally like to do at least like 10 to 15 minutes of exercise at the least, along with some stretching. And then 1 or 2 days where I do more. And I've been slacking on, I've been sick, so haven't been exercising or doing that routine. So I'm excited to be getting better. Oh, give that body some love. Okay, Twitch strategy. So for those that might not know, Twitch is a online live streaming platform similar to YouTube, but where YouTube is kind of more of this library of videos that just has live streaming as something you can do. For Twitch, that is its bread and butter, and it is a company owned by Amazon. It tends to be more video game related content, but Twitch does have realms of art, creative, projects, events, just chatting that people can do as well. And it has an aspect of it where people can sign up to become followers to your page, and people can also become subscribers to your page. And if people get Amazon Prime, you get a free Twitch Prime every month. And what that means is you can say, hey, this person's channel, I would like to watch their channel ad free. I would like to support the art and content they're making. And every month, if that channel you pick to use your Twitch Prime gives them about $2.50. And so what I'm learning is not only is this a good way to explore other types of content and building up an audience, interacting with typically younger people, but it's also a way that I know a number of people who have Amazon Prime but don't go on Twitch, and I find 10 of these people and say, hey, are you willing to create a Twitch account and subscribe to my page with your Twitch Prime? Every month, this is an additional cost. This is already a part of Amazon Prime. And with 10 people, I am now making $25 a month. And I feel like there's a number of people within my network who use Amazon Prime, but do not use the Twitch part or aren't even on Twitch. And so just thinking of ways people can support what I'm up to, with a resource they already have. And so our next behind the scenes video will be around setting up our Twitch page, and looking at some of the aspects to reaching our goals for the year. And then my goal is to also have a behind the scenes series, so that for an additional maybe $1 a month, people can see a little bit more and get a little bit more background information into what helps create a YouTube channel and online media channel company, like I'm doing here with Community Driven. I think I have this at the ready, so we'll look at this really quick before we go. I would like to go to my Google Drive. Thank you. And recently, predictions, or is this on? No, I gotta go over here. So we are almost done with the evening. This will be our last thing we talk about. I can already, like, I haven't eaten dinner, so my stomach's telling me you gotta go. Also, not 100% yet. I hope this has been a good episode for y'all. Look into what I'm up to and the different components of giving more insight into the political process. As we grow, we can have more polls, bring in additional expertise. We can go to legislators to have them give their expert and background information into the decisions they're making. So really cool places of where we're trying to build towards. And just really quick, looking at some of the goals we made for ourselves in our last stream. So we want to bring up concurrent viewers, which is the amount of people watching at any one given time, to get up to a point where have 55 people live. We want to get to a point where the average of all of our Friday shows is 7 people. So working to what averages between, we need to get up to like 15 to 20 people near the end of the legislative session, to balance out to the 7 number. So stream average length. This is a goal I set aside to help be more concise, not take up too much of people's time on Fridays. And we're about to be 90 minutes exactly, which is awesome. We're reaching one of our goals. Stream clips, YouTube videos, 10 minutes to 30 minutes, get 3,000 minutes watched, which is a data point I can look up in the YouTube studio. YouTube short reaches 10,000 views. Our most recent short just got about 200 views, but the algorithm is liking our content more and more. You can definitely see a trend line of 30 views, 40 views, 50, 80. So the algorithm is showing our content to more people, I think, alongside us becoming better at creating that content. And all it takes is a few to go more viral to hit this goal. Let alone the fact that we're posting on TikTok and Instagram, and each of those is also getting a few hundred views. TikTok is definitely get the most right now, and we get decent interactions. Instagram, it's like hit or miss, and then I have to do more of like creating stories. And then this is why I want to tune into this. I want to get live discussions with politicians, videos from politicians to watch, live discussions with lobby groups, and videos from lobby groups / nonprofits. And get 3 sponsors for a live show and 3 for edited videos. And so I'm just trying to get a sense of timeline on when these need to start happening. And if I look at a calendar, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 more Fridays. That's funny, Friday, 13 Fridays. And so for some of these goals, in the next 3 weeks, need to be bringing in at least 1 video from a politician and 1 video from a lobby group or nonprofit to reach these goals. And I have a little bit more time on the sponsors and having an aspect of the show that includes live discussion. But by the end of February, that needs to be built in. So that, because if there's 3 live discussions with politicians and 3 or 5 discussions with lobby groups or nonprofits, probably only one of those can happen in a show. If the show's aiming at being 90 minutes, and I'm assuming a live discussion goes on for at least around 20, you could probably fit in multiple, but depending on who we're talking to, I'm thinking it might go more than 20 minutes, especially if we have live audience interactions. So that will be interesting to check out. All right, that is our show for today. Thank you all for watching live or later. We're gonna chop this up like always, but it's Friday. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and see you next time.